Good morning. Good morning, everyone. And hi, Adele. Welcome. And thank you for joining us on another episode of Fertility Talk. As you know, we are doing a series this month and for the next few months. And this one's entitled, because it's the first month of the year and everyone is starting with their journeys, what's entitled Preparing for Fertility Treatments. And you're the last episode in this series, and we are talking about genetic screening. So as I mentioned, we are talking to Adele, and Adele is from FutureGen Labs. So Adele, please introduce yourself to everyone. Thank you for joining us, and introduce yourself to everyone. Tell us what it is that you do at FutureGen.
Thank you, Leanne, and thank you for the opportunity. So I'm the CEO of a laboratory called FutureGen Laboratories. We're South Africa's premier genetic specialists, and we focus exclusively and primarily in the reproductive space, which means that we are the arm to fundamentally the IVF clinics when it comes to genetic testing. So we initially started our portfolio with certain tests called PGTA, PGTM, which is pre-genetic implantation for aneuploidies and for monoploidies. And what that really means is that when a person goes through an IVF journey, just before, after fertilization, before re-implantation, we receive a biopsy from the IVF clinic and we check the potential baby for genetic mutations. And understand that all of us have genetic mutations, and naturally one in every 3 embryo can be affected. That's why we have the natural processes of miscarriage and whatnot. You know, a long time ago, people used to just reimplant back into a woman and just hope for the best. And if they miscarried, you started all over again. Today, technology is such that you can circumvent that you can check for genetic mutations. And if it is a child that is affected, you won't be implanted with that embryo, which really means the long term, they cut down the time to have a healthy baby. The time is much shorter and miscarriages much less. So that's generally where we are spaced, but we're taking it now a step further. And I think this is very good in terms of your discussion about how to prepare for the fertility journey. One of the things that people who land up in that space of having IVF and then seeing that there is genetic disease and that they have to deal with that is that instead of starting even the IVF process and then landing up finding out that you've got genetic disease, be proactive. Check before you even decide to fall pregnant. And this, by the way, is not only with people struggling to fall pregnant, it's for every healthy individual. Go and check your genetic makeup, because there are certain genetic conditions that if you are informed about them, you will be able to make better decisions about your family planning. Okay, now all of us carry genetic disease, and I think everybody needs to understand that. We've all got, I mean, we're all different, right? We've got different color eyes and different color hair and different color skin and different ways that we interact with the world because of our genetic makeup. But, you know, what we're trying to do over here is to go and see that if you are a carrier of a particular negative disease that will affect your child. Many people have heard about cystic fibrosis, about Tay-Sachs disease, the BRCA gene, etc., etc., etc. Today, we have the ability, number one, to identify it and then change course and help the patient, help the parent have a healthy child and not to continue to pass that genetic disease over to the next generation.
Okay, thank you very much, Adele. So what exactly is carrier screening? I don't know if that is what we just went through.
Yes, so carrier screening is a proactive genetic test that either is done ideally between the partners. So both go get tested and to understand their genetic makeup. You can do it individually as well to know that you are a carrier of whatever it is that you should be wary. It's a simple test. It's a saliva swab that comes into our laboratory. It takes around about 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and you get the results. We are very much of the opinion that this type of information is not like your ancestral DNA. Your father was Irish and your mother was South American. It's not about that. It's about health, and therefore we've also created around it a digital platform as well as a person-to-person platform where you will get counseled, because you will find genetic disease. Okay, all of us carriers, but hopefully the majority, that we carry are benign, and so we just, give it over to the next generation and say good luck and carry on your life. But if there does come the situation where it is flagged that this has a potentially harmful consequence, there is digital counseling, so you'll be educated more about what the disease is, what the chance of the disease is, what you should be doing about it. And in cases where we will do couples and we will see that it is potentially dangerous for them to have a kid, we will also onboard a human genetic counselor that will then guide you further on what can be done. And let it be said, you can have a healthy baby. You can today, because then what will happen is that you'll go on to the next menu of genetic tests that we do, like PGTA, like PGTM, that will actually exclude any embryo that potentially has that disease. So, we've seen incredible things in our laboratory, people that are carrying horrible genetic disease. And, with the assistance of the IVF labs and this technology, they had a healthy baby and they've stopped the genetic disease, carry on generation to generation. So it's not a death sentence. In fact, it's a life-affirming sentence.
Wow, that's awesome, Adele. Who exactly should do the test when it comes to this? Yeah, you mentioned it a bit, but
ideally it is people before they start having a family. But lots of people are interested, even parents who've had children who know of genetic disease in their family. I know that we are have that information. Anybody over the age of 18 is allowed to do it without consent. Obviously, if you're having children involved, then that are below, there's a strict consent form. But it's knowledge today. Knowledge is power, and knowledge allows you to make informed decisions. So it really is for anybody. Certainly, the test is going to be launched within the next month and will be available. I'm going to have my screening done. I'm already a mother, and a grandmother. But nevertheless, it's to know what is in the family, because there is the possibility that one day your child or your grandchild will be marrying somebody, and it needs to be flagged. So it really is for everybody. It's primarily suited for people who are family planning, not saying I've got a problem with and I can't fall pregnant. Before even that, go and get checked.
Awesome. And then there's the next one is, how does it work and what is the benefit long term?
Okay, so how it works is that we are going to have collection points. It's initially launching in Gauteng. There will be 2 or 3 collection points that people can leave their swab. It's then taken into the laboratory. We amplify the DNA. We put it through the testing. What's absolutely incredible, and I'm super excited about, is that it's very digitally run. You do all your onboarding on your phone or on your computer. You're notified where you are in the testing process, and then there's the feedback, as I said, digitally, either through counseling that way or through somebody contacting you, and then you're empowered. So it's really non-invasive. It's a cheek swab. It's some spit.
Okay, and so this is called genetic testing itself.
This is called carrier screening.
Carrier screening. Okay.
And the one important thing is that it has been available, but it's been available to be sent overseas. Okay, only if somebody in South Africa needed it, and generally it was needed in hindsight, or if somebody knows about a genetic mutation that's been passed down, it's had to go overseas. Now we are introducing it locally at affordable prices with a better turnaround time. What more can you ask for?
Great. Actually, I always mention it when we're doing the talk with you, is how important it is, as well as when we talk to like the nutritionists and dietitians and stuff, how important it is to prepare when you're starting a journey with IVF. So when it comes to, the carrier screening or I think it's the PGTA testing, am I correct? I don't want to make a mistake with that.
That's when you're in the fertility loop
Yeah,
already.
when you're in that. But when you're doing all those tests before starting this journey, you can actually save yourself quite a bit. Instead of going
100%.
through the journey and then realizing there is something wrong, and then you've got to take the big step back. You know, um, do whatever you can beforehand to better prepare yourself, whether it is your diets, changing your diets and giving up whatever you need to give up to make sure that your journey is better and you are better prepared for you and your partner. And in your case, with the genetics and so forth, so you know what you are in for and you can better prepare for it. So it's very, very important to take the necessary steps, because again, IVF, especially when it's IVF, it's a very expensive journey, but also the emotional side of things. I mean, don't want to go through all of those things, have your hopes up, and then realize at the end of the day, I should have done this and I should have done that. So where you can, please go and do what you need to do to make sure that your journey is as less stressful as it possibly can be. So thank you very much, Adele, for that. Maybe you can just share to us how they can get hold of you, or get or be able to have access to these types of tests.
Okay, we're about to launch. We're actually launching a new website that will be integrated with the digital platform that we've created for carrier screening. They can go to our website, www.futuregenlabs.co.za. Right now, it's still our existing platform. We've actually rebranded and really, really, upgraded our look, our feel, and our connection. Within the next month or so, just listen out on the radio, listen out through your channel, listen out, in the media, etc., because we are going to go out to South Africans and start educating them about carrier screening. And within the month to 6 weeks, you'll be able to go onto our new platform. You'll be able to register for the test. So
Awesome.
that is the way they can do that. And they can also go through the doctor. There'll be various channels which they'll be able to perform.
Access that.
To perform.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you very much, Adele, for joining us. We will be seeing you again soon. Wishing you all the best for your launch, and we'll chat to you soon. Thanks, Adele.
Thank you so much, and
Pleasure.
good luck to everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.